Hey, so I guess we'll do a no sleep video. I haven't slept much. Guess we'll just do some rambles, I guess. Since I'm not gonna get any sleep out of this, might as well do something useful, am I right? So, yeah. Could be fun, could be weird. I don't know. We'll find out. Oh, jeez. Wonder if people like these types of videos. It's whatever. So, I guess everybody wants part 3, part 2. So many videos. So little time. Crazy. I don't know. Could see what a ramble video looks like. I guess this would be it. I wonder what would be a good topic. Food, coffee, outdoors. Fishing. No, I don't think anyone here is interested in any of that. What to talk about? I guess we could talk about... I wonder... I guess we could talk about different voices. That could be fun. I guess. I'd much rather talk about you. I wonder, what things are you interested in? What voices do you like the most? What do you find calming, soothing even? I'm always thinking about these things, and I wonder, how can I be more calming to somebody? The majority of my new viewers seem to like my British accents, so I wonder if we mix that in with this, would it make it more calming? Or would it turn it into something much different? Interesting. I suppose we will soon find out just how calming, relaxing, or strange all of this could be. Must make sure not to be too loud. This is supposed to be calming. I suppose my first actual attempt at a non-VA type video. A little bit more into the realm of ASMR. Seeing what indeed could be calming to you. What do you enjoy? What are your hobbies? What are your interests? Very interesting. What things do you like to do? What do you like to see? What kind of voices do you prefer? Much to think about. What to do with the answers, I wonder. I guess we just apply them to what we know. What do we do? Rambling. This is what happens whenever you run out of things to write. The creative juices stop flowing. So you become a rambling, bumbling mess. trying things. Trying to do something. Trying to do something is not bad, in my opinion. I think as long as you're trying to do something, you're doing better than doing nothing. If you're stuck in a situation, do what you can to improve the situation. Make yourself comfortable in a way. If you're stuck in an awkward situation, do what you can to make it less awkward. Do what you can to make it, at the very least, manageable, comfortable, eventually even. Baby steps. No one's saying you have to run. Look at the problem in tiny segments. Break it down, little by little, chunk by chunk, piece by piece, until the monster, so-called problem, hindrance, obstacle, is brought to a more manageable level. Something less daunting. Something easy to chew. Easy to contemplate. Much less stressful on the mind and body. That is always a good thing to do. Break down. Analyze. Formulate. Act. Sometimes action comes later. Sometimes it comes sooner. It all depends on what is going on. What is the safest course? What is the quickest course? Sometimes these things must meet in the middle. However, don't take my advice carefree. I'm no expert, nor do I ever claim to be. I'm just some person talking over a microphone, rambling on a sleepless night, trying to think of things to do. Not only to see what my audience enjoys, but an experiment for myself. How can I turn a situation of writer's block, a moment of, or rather, lack of inspiration, into something useful, while still trying to give people something they might enjoy. At least a little bit, if not entirely. I do not know. That is why we try new things. We don't know if they'll work out. We just try them out anyway. And hopefully, the result is not all too terrible. Who knows? Sometimes you find something people like, people enjoy. You never know. I, for one, don't. But I think that's part of the fun, now isn't it? You never know how these things will go. They could go well, they could go horribly wrong. By the way, you've learned something. Always try to learn something. Sometimes what we learn is good. Sometimes it is bad. Just try and learn something. Doesn't have to be big. Could be a small fragment of information. Build on it. let it grow. Ponder it. Although not everything needs to be pondered. Sometimes it can be draining to think about every little action, every little consequence. If you think about how every interaction will end before it's happened, well, in my experience, it's not the best way to go about things. In fact, more oftentimes than not, the reaction is, well, unexpected. People are not always the easiest to, how do I say, let me think for a second. Read, I guess. All I'm trying to say is, people are unpredictable. It's hard to think exactly what they'll do next. That can be scary. It can be fun. Depends. Definitely depends situation to situation. Either way. So, not the best way to live your life, in my opinion. I don't particularly enjoy it when I have to do that. So, oftentimes, I try not to. Many times now I find I try to keep my head empty of most thoughts. Not for too long, but every now and then it can be relaxing. What to talk about? What else to talk about? I suppose there's no need to force this to go any further. It's not like any of the information I've set forth is relevant to anything, nor factual. As I have said before, I am no expert on these matters. I am simply rambling on in order to create content for one to listen to. And that is it. That is exactly what it is. There is no meaning behind it all. It is simply words compacted together to create a sentence for you to listen to, and hopefully the voice is pleasant enough that you do not necessarily pay attention to the fact that it is gibberish in its totality. Sadly, I do not exactly remember the exact meanings nor definitions of many of the more eloquent words I have used, although I've retained some knowledge on their definitions and uses. I cannot say I remember them in their entirety, sadly. I guess that is why you should continue to read. Continue to educate oneself, even if independently. Fascinating, I guess. Depends on what your interests are. Either way, I am very tired. And I do believe this would be a good time to say our goodbyes. So to thee I bid adieu, and a good night to thee. Hopefully thine night is not as mine has been. Hopefully you can find some sleep, some rest, some respite from thine own thoughts. Hopefully you can find rest where I have not. So good night, I say to you. Good night. Sleep well.